Good Tuesday evening, YouTube. How you guys doing? Yep, it's about time for one of our late night live streams again. I hope you guys have enjoyed your day. I know I have. So I just want to hop on real quick and share my thoughts on something that I heard earlier, this evening. So earlier this evening, I was listening to a content creator, and he had an issue with a something that Neely Fuller had to say pertaining to the black male. Now we have talked about the black male and his something that he's going under, he's dealing with right now, has dealt with for a long time, called womb envy. And on this Neely Fuller video that I'm going to play for you guys, the content creator had a problem with what Neely Fuller was saying. I don't think that he had so much of a problem as to about what he was saying. I think he had more a problem with the visuals on the video. But my thing is, you have to. There is no need to disrespect an elder, especially a learned elder of 90 years old that is a professor in my mind as it pertains to the struggle. And by the struggle, I mean he's a professional when it comes to speaking out against the complete system of white supremacy, racism, and how it affects our black people, moreover, our black men and women. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, but because of the visuals on the video, I think that the content creator had a problem with what was being said by Neely Fuller, and because he had a problem with the visuals on the video, it caused him to disrespect the elder. And like I said, there's never a need to disrespect our elders. Okay, if you don't understand something, you should take time. Read more. Read more books about what the elder has to say. Don't let one video of a cartoon, some cartoon characters, depicting or acting out what he's saying. Don't let that cause you to embarrass yourself and disrespect your elders, all because of something that you didn't like being showed on the screen. Do you see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this brother is 90, possibly more than 90 years old, but he's at least 90 years old. And because he's 90 years old, and I have been listening to this brother and reading this brother's books for a very long time. Do you see what I'm saying? Not only him, a lot of our elders, Francis Chris Wilson, John Henry Clark, our first, we have had several waves, of pro-blackness. Hey, DOD, how you doing? I have had several waves. We have had several waves of pro-blackness, and Needy Fuller, he came before Dr. Chris Wilson. Dr. Wilson falls up under Needy Fuller's teachings as well, and it will behoove a lot of us in this wave of pro-blackness to listen to the elders, because it is said that a wise man listens to wisdom, and the fool covers his ears to wisdom. Do you see what I'm saying? And I have enough sense enough to know, in my ripe old age of what I am, I have enough sense enough to know that the best thing that I could have ever done was listen to my elders. Because had I not listened to my elders, I wouldn't be here, on this, internet site talking to you today. I'm so hard-headed, I could have been 6 feet under. Do you see what I'm saying? But because I listened to my elders in my youth, that is why I am able to sit here and, impart this type of a conversation with you today. Like I said, I don't know where I would have been. But anyway, I'm going to play this video for you guys. It's around about 10:30. I know a lot of you guys got to go to work tomorrow. Good evening, Cloud. How you doing? Hey, making it happen. Jessica and DOD once again. So anyway, let me play this video for you guys, and we'll come back to discuss what was really going on when this content creator, felt like he needed to disrespect the elder. Do you see? And just let me say this: there is nothing wrong with questioning something that an elder has to say, because we all, should be critical thinkers. Do you see what I'm saying? But just because you're questioning something that an elder has said, it doesn't mean you have to outright disrespect him or discount everything that he has said. That dang on phone, it never rings until I come online. Okay. But you should never discount something that totally just disrespect, discount, trying to shout down something that an elder has said, or some type of wisdom that he is trying to impart to you via his experience. Do you see what I'm saying? Especially his melanated experience, especially his struggle. Do you see what I'm saying? If you don't understand it or you don't agree totally with it, cool. You know what I mean? But at least try to consider it. And that is what I hope you guys are doing when you are, humbling me and blessing me with your presence. I mean, I don't expect you to believe everything that I say because my mouth is not a prayer book, but I would appreciate it. Humbles me when you are at least willing to consider what it is that I'm saying. Okay. And so what I'm saying tonight is, disrespecting our elders, that's out of order. Do you see what I'm saying? One problem that we have in the pro-black community is that, a lot of pro-blacks, especially the men, because of ego, because of misogyny, they think that their way is the right way, and these elders are old. And just not the men, it's some of the women too. Look at, I'm sure we remember what Yvette Cornell, all the derogatory things she had to say about Dr. Claude Anderson, because, he simply said that all the stuff you're talking about and you're wanting to do, as far as reparations for black people goes, it's already been talked about and it's already been done. You're simply regurgitating what's already been done. You're not adding anything to the conversation. You're simply regurgitating things that have already been said. And because he said that, Yvette Cornell flew off the handle because of what? Ego. She wanted to disrespect her elders, right? So anyway, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to play this video and I'm going to show you, like I said, I don't even think that the content creator was so much, felt a way about the words. I think he felt more about the cartoon, the things on the screen. He felt disrespected by that because he felt like Dr. Fuller was speaking bad about, the Pookies and Ray Rays, in our community, such as it is. But he was speaking in general. He didn't have any control over what cartoon the content this guy made, the cartoonist. He don't have any control over how he decided to depict Neely Fuller's words in the cartoon. Okay, so anyway, you'll see. Let me share the screen real fast, and we'll just come back to discuss. The video is not that long at all, and so yeah. But you should never. I am never going to be one to discount wisdom, especially from somebody that's at least 90 years old. Because, honey, he done seen things that I have never seen. He's lived through things that I have never lived through. And we are just not cut anymore from the same cloth as our elders. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, let me click on this video. And hopefully I will share it. And let me know if you guys can hear it after it comes up and whatnot. Let's see. Hold on. It takes a minute. And so, I was just really disheartened by the whole thing.
Every black person on the planet who has been exposed to white supremacy, and the assumption is every black person on the planet has been, even when they haven't been in contact with white people directly. They've been exposed to the white culture indirectly. White culture is about white supremacy. Now, what does white supremacy do? It teaches people of color that if you are a male, you cannot be a man, period. Not in the system of white supremacy. And you're not going to be treated like a man, ever. Now, you can walk around and think that you're a man, but that's between you and you. Strictly between you and yourself. Because no white person has an obligation, if you're a black male, to treat you like you are a man. And it's logical simply because in the system of white supremacy, it's impossible for a black male to be a man. It doesn't make any difference how old he gets or what he knows or what kind of connections. That can't be done. I just start with myself. I'm not eligible, not qualified to be a man. Why? Because I was born in captivity, that's why. When you're in captivity, when you're a prisoner of war, you are strictly that and nothing else, a prisoner of war. a victim of white supremacy. And you don't have another title. You can give yourselves all kinds of titles, which is why black people love titles. We give ourselves all kinds of titles. We give each other all kinds of titles. Some titles, it's not as bad as it was in the old days. I say bad, if you want to use that word. But some people used to say professor, reverend, most high. I mean, before you ever get to a name, you would have about 40 titles. You know, when somebody introduces you, you're supposed to be what you call a big shot Negro in the old days. This is not new. This goes way back. That struggle. Oh, I'd just love to be a man. I mean, what can it take? But by this generation, what you call the new millennia, most young black people have looked around. They have looked at the people that came before them, who since the 1960s, the white supremacists have done a rough job on black malehood. First of all, giving them an option that you can continue to be a big boy, or if you really want to get some material benefits, put on some gold slippers and skip around, and grin all the time and all like that, and have a little money in your pocket. Now you can be a black girl if you're a black male. You can be a black girl, but you cannot be a man. You will never be a man in the system of white supremacy. Now, they have put that in cement. They have written, or rather in steel, or whatever the hardest subject, a diamond. The white supremacists have put that philosophy out here since the 1970s. That's the benchmark that I give it. All over the world, and they're spreading it. They're saying, you're not going to be a man. You're a black male, and you think you're going to be a man on my watch? On my watch, this is the voice of the white supremacists now, racist man and racist woman. Say, that's not going to happen. Say, now Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad and all that, they said that that's what they're going to make you out of, but it's not going to happen. Now, you can talk it, but you make any move to make that real, and you're going to wonder what fell on you. Now, they have made that clear to all of us. And the young black people have picked up that signal. And they say, well, if I can't be a man and I don't want to be like my sisters, I don't want to switch around all day looking for a male, and I pretend to be a female or try to switch over and be one, if they can operate on me and make me one, because then things become easier. I guess, I hope, but I definitely can't be a man because I'm in big trouble if I try to be. Then what can I be? Well, the white supremacist said, well, I'll give you another outside option. You can go around and pretend that you're a man by doing harm to other black people. That's cursing out black females, calling them names and all like that. Write songs about them where you call them all kinds of names and kick them all up and down the street. We don't care about that. Kick your mother up and down the street. We rejoice when we see you do that, okay? But if you start acting anything like you ask for respect from us, the white supremacists, boy, you're going to get dead real quick. Most black males, we know that because they teach us that in no uncertain terms. When we really start asserting ourselves and say, you're going to respect me as a man. And the white supremacists said, you tell that to other black people. But don't you get in my face ever, boy, and act like you even thinking like that, dealing with me. Now, I'll play with you for a little while. I'll laugh and joke with you. But if you get serious and think that you're going to be a man, and when I'm here, because there ain't but one man in this house, and when I say house, I mean the entire planet Earth. Anytime you think with your black self, you're going to be a man in my presence, you got another thing coming. Now, like I said, I'll play with you. I'll kid around with you. I'll joke with you. I'll play some ball games with you and all like that. Don't you ever think that you're a man. You're a boy, or you can act like your sisters and be a girl, and you ain't got no other choices with me. But you got all kind of choices with your own people. even though your own people are really not your own people. They are mine too. But you can kill them. You can tell them, ain't nobody going to disrespect you. Well, you tell that to other black people, boy. Well, don't you ever even think it in my presence. You don't even have to say it. Don't you even act like you might be thinking that. Or you're going to find out what the hell is. And you know what? The white supremacists have proven that they can deliver on that message every time. And I don't care who you are, if you're black on this planet. When you really put them to an acid test, they have so far proven that nobody will take them on. Because nobody knows how to, including Neely Fuller. I'm just trying to find out. I'm in their prison too. I was born in their prison too. So to get to the crux of what we're talking about here, for black males, we're talking about manhood. And it's not going to happen, folks. As long as you have the system of white supremacy in place and not having a system of justice. This is why, rather than running around killing each other, that's not going to help.
Wow, see, that was deep. So I see, like I said, excuse me, got a cold, y'all. But like I had said earlier, I think that the content creator had more of a problem with what was being shown on the screen, what was being depicted on the screen, and what he was depicting on the screen was the vision of the what they call online the Pookie and Ray, or the derelict Negro, if you will, the hood Negro. Do you see what I'm saying? But he was not. This is just simply the cartoon, but he was talking about black men in general. Do you see what I'm saying? Not all black men, but to see the system of white supremacy, a lot of things. One thing that a lot of our people don't understand when it comes to the system, and some people even call the system the matrix. You see all these red pillars or these blue pillars. Now you're seeing black pillars. All of those things are in reference to the movie The Matrix. We know a black woman, created the story of the Matrix, right? She it was a book. A black woman wrote the book. But the Matrix, as far as I'm concerned, what I see the Matrix is to me the Matrix is the system of white supremacy racism. Do you see what I'm saying? She brought it to life in a book. Using these machines and all these virtual reality, tools. But in my opinion, she's talking about the system of white supremacy racism. And if you, getting online, you call yourself teaching and all this and all that, I don't see how you can appropriately or adequately teach your B1 people, your pro-black people, anything if you do not understand the system of white supremacy racism and how insidious it is. The system of white supremacy racism is so insidious that it has, many of us thinking, and we have heard this time after time on YouTube, well, there is no system of white supremacy racism anymore. That's a thing of the past. You hear a lot of black people online and offline. We live in a post racist America because we had a black president, not having enough sense enough to know that no, we did not have. We had a okay. You can say we had a African American president. You can't say we had a black meaning Adolf's president. But the system wants you to think that African American president that you had was Adolf's, when we know that because of his lineage, we know that Barack Obama he is not even an Adolf. Okay, he is not descended from slavery. His father is Kenyan, and his mother was Anglo. So you have not yet had a black president. You have had an African American president, but the system of white supremacy racism wants you to think, because you are in the matrix, because your eyes have been blinded by this virtual reality we call our everyday life, because you're living behind those virtual reality glasses. You think that a lot of people think that we have had an Adolf president. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, that is not true. Same thing goes about this cartoon. Like I said, Neely Fuller is 90, possibly 90 plus years old. You would think that common sense will tell you that he knows a thing or two about a thing or two, because he has been living under the system of white supremacy racism, not living under white people, but under system of white supremacy racism for not possibly 90 plus years. You would think that you would listen to the wisdom that he is trying to impart to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I said, you don't have to agree with everything. You are supposed to use your, put your critical thinking caps on, when it comes to anything that anybody says to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Because no man's mouth is a prayer book, but it will behoove you to at least consider that. And it is a tool in the toolbox of white supremacy racism, as far as I'm concerned, when we go and when we start to speak out against our, learned elders, our most sacred elders. Because like I said, there's been many, spoken out about a lot of our elders. You see, a lot of our pro-black elders, because you want to have the loudest voice, or they may have been, they are old and they lived, in a different time. Do you see what I'm saying? But they absolutely understand. They are professionals when it comes to dealing with the struggle as well as dealing with the system. And Neely Fuller even said in this video that I don't even know how to fight this system. I don't even know how to get out of this matrix. But what I can do is tell you how to maneuver through it. Do you see what I'm saying? You got a lot of people when they first, start claiming they pro-blackness, they gun ho. They puff their chest out, which this content creator doing. You puffing your chest out, you all rah-rah. But guess what? That is not making the system of white supremacy, racism flinch. Okay, because that is a complete system. And there's also a saying that goes, revolution starts in the mind. What did they say? The revolution will not be televised. You know why it won't be televised? It won't be televised because revolution starts in the mind. Okay, if you ever want to, even begin to pick away at the system of white supremacy, racism, you have to learn how to maneuver through it. You need to learn how to work in it. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to learn how to get around it in hopes that one, you will never be able to explode it. You will never be able to, explode that system. It's got too many tools and too many working parts. But if you study, if you concentrate, if you listen to the wisdom of the elders and consider what it is that you're reading, that you're learning, what you're going through, what you're listening to, you may one day be able to implode it. See, that's why the revolution won't be televised, because like I said, it starts in the mind. Okay, and we have grown past a lot of things. Like, here we can sit here 50, 60 years later and critique the heck excuse me, and side chair quarterback, the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King Jr. You see what I'm saying? But if Dr. King would have known then what we know now, you best believe he wouldn't, he wouldn't be feeling like, or he wouldn't have felt like that he was leading his people, into a burning house. But see, by the time he realized that those Anglos are trying to, cater to you because they want your economics, they want to destroy your economic base, because we no longer have our economic base, is next to zero. And I believe they said in 2050 of the black community, we won't have an economic base. Do you see what I'm saying? So they're going to placate you and they're going to play along with you as soon as they realize, hey, they're doing pretty good in that black community. They really are growing. They're learning. I don't even know why they want to be integrated. But okay, if they want to be integrated, we'll integrate them. We'll let them start spending, their black dollars in our communities instead of theirs, because that is the reason why there were these civil rights laws were passed, and they were, and even today, integration is being upheld. But we should have been focusing on separate and equal. But like I said, you can side on quarterback, Dr. King and his movement to death. But for it had not been for his movement, we would have not be where we are today. So I respect that elder and all the rest of them that marched back then, that did what they did back then. I respect that. Okay. There's also another saying that goes that, don't hate hate the hustler, hate the game. Do you see what I'm saying? The game here, you shouldn't be hating on your elders. You shouldn't be hating on the women of your race. The women of your race shouldn't be hating on the men of your race. It is a tool in a toolbox of white supremacy racism that keeps us separated, keeps us not unified as a people. Because for as long as they can keep our brains scattered, as long as they can pit us against one another, as long as they can get us to shout down our elders' wisdom, they can keep us in bondage. Do you see what I'm saying? So when I say don't hate the player, hate the game, I'm saying, don't hate your elders just because you don't like what you saw on the screen, just because you don't like how you were depicted in a cartoon. Hate that game. That game has got you hating and disrespecting your elders. Do you see what I'm saying? That's not cool. It's not acceptable. It is out of order. Do you see what I'm saying? It is not a wide person. So what you should do is take that little hat off you call ego, sit down and learn a little more before you start to critique the elders, because you might slip up and learn something if you listen closely to what they say, as opposed to one thing that they said or one video that you saw of something being played out because of something that the elder said. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that is how you start this wave of a B1 or a pro-black revolution. It is the mind. The revolution is going to be won in the mind. Now, yes, many have talked for decades about another civil war. They call it a race war, and I believe before it's all over with, I was listening to Donald Trump, listening to him tap dance with white supremacy racism. Do you see what I'm saying? And Donald Trump, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Okay, he's supposed to be causing all of this this chaos and mayhem within his own government. Do you see what I'm saying? His rhetoric has trickled down and even divided us from us. Thank you, DOD. DOD said you are right, sister. Thank you so much, DOD, for the super chat. I appreciate that, man. But his rhetoric has even divided, like I said, us from us. Do you see what I'm saying? You know why? Because we're not looking at the big picture. That system, see, a lot of people get the system of white supremacy, racism. They get it mixed up with individual white people. See, the system of white supremacy, racism, it is even against the Anglo. Do you see what I'm saying? That system is so complete that it uses its own people, its own chosen race of people, which is the Anglo race, i.e. the white race. It uses that race as a tool as well. It's only a tool, okay? It's just a tool, So when you see these, these hate groups like the KKK or the skinheads, they are simply more than tools, because that system of white supremacy, racism, that system is actually working against them as well. But a lot of people don't realize that. So you will hear a content creator say something like, I wish a Anglo would point his finger in my face and call me the N-word. I'll knock him out. I'll go to jail for that. Did you know what you did? You know what you did? You just played right into the system's hand, because when you knock him out, you are going to prison, okay? And you will be doing time for the man. You will then be incarcerated. Do you see what I'm saying? Via this prison industrial context where you can directly make that white man some money. See, that's the system that we're living under. It's not about the individual. It's about the system. And a lot of us don't understand that. And why a lot of us don't understand that is in part, a lot of it is in part because of ego. Okay, because we want our word to be the only right word. We want to outshout, what our elders had to say. Things change. Things evolve. Do you see what I'm saying? But you never should think that you have outgrown a wise word. That thing that elder is warning you against, it's evolved. Do you see what I'm saying? But that thing that elder is warning you about is still that thing. At the genesis, it's still the same thing that elder is trying to warn you about. Do you see what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I mean? But it's disrespectful, but you're actually working for the system when you start to shout down and try to discredit your own elders. Like I said, Yvette Cornell did it. You see what I'm saying? We've been doing it forever in the conscious community. I can't tell you how many arguments I heard for or against something that one of our elders said. Neely Foley Jr., shoot, John Henry Clark, Francis Quest, they really can't stand Dr. Welsing in her ISIS papers, because in Dr. Welsing's ISIS papers, she broke down something I've been talking about, which is womb envy, which is what I have been telling our pro black women to divest away from abuse, because that abuse is caused by womb envy. But that is another video. You can go listen to my other, and that's another thing. The content creator doesn't believe that as a woman I can be a pro black woman and a pro black at the same time. Once again, that is ego. Do you see what I'm saying? Because why would I not be the betterment for my people? Moreover, for the betterment of my B1 or pro-black women. First, simply because I'm a woman, not because I hate you, because I am a pro-black woman. I love you. I want to protect you. I want you to listen to wisdom, which is the reason for this video. But your ego has you reeling against me and calling me out of my name and calling me a B. See, that's that's the ego talking. Okay, because the ego thinks it knows everything, when it really knows nothing at all. Because if it knew anything, the first thing it would know, the brightest thought that it would have in its mind, is the fact that you should never discount wisdom. You should never straight up disrespect your elders, especially in a public platform, especially for the world to see. Because when you do that, you got white supremacy in the background clapping. That's right, boy. Do what I told you to do, boy. Discount your elders' word, boy, because we don't want these Negroes being educated. We don't want these Negroes' mind being opened up to what's really going on. We want them to stay in the matrix. So you're doing your job, boy. Do you see what I'm saying? Keep doing it. Do more of that. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I had to get that troll out here. Sorry about that, y'all. But that's what I want to tell y'all. But anyway, I'm going to close. I ain't going to hold y'all too long. But before I close, I want to show you this video right here, because this is also a video, and it was a cartoon style video, and it was made, by this same cartoonist, and it is about a something that Neely Fuller, said also. Do you see what I'm saying? Claude said I addressed one because they weren't explicit. The other one I got rid of. Oh, thank you, Claude. Thank you. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, you did get rid of that one, Claude. Thank you so much. I didn't even see that when you got rid of it so fast, but I see it now. Now that I clicked back over to the screen. Thank you, Claude. Good looking out. But like I said, I know y'all got stuff to do tomorrow, and I'm not going to hold y'all long, but I want y'all to hear this little video, because in this video, Neely Fuller is talking about, what the word neighborhood or hood means in terms of white supremacy, racism. Okay. And my screen is blanking out. If y'all can hear me, hit the one. And don't y'all know that video I did the other day? Somebody flagged that video, and the only thing YouTube did was slap an age restriction on it. I'm like, interesting. Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay, so let me go on real fast and play this little video for y'all. I'll come back and say a few closing words, and we'll be up out of here. You know what I mean? I know folks got to get up early in the morning, but I really could not let this night go past without speaking out against, people that disrespect our elders. It just ain't cool. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, let me get this set up, guys. And I'm still working under an hour. Thank y'all guys so much for joining me tonight. Like I said, if I didn't say your name, thank you for joining us tonight anyway. Thank you for joining me tonight anyway. Thank you, Claude, for looking out, for me. So here you go. The name of this is Neely Fuller. What he was saying is flooding the hoods with drugs, crack houses, and guns. And the reason why I want to play this video is because the content creator, he feels that he was rebelling against the system, when he decided to make money, selling drugs. Do you see what I'm saying? Because, he was bucking the system. He was rebelling against the system. He didn't want to work under the man, not understanding that when you are selling drugs to your community and you are selling drugs to your people, you are absolutely working for the man. You are still working for the man. Do you see what I'm saying? And I understand where you're coming from, and never would I ever look down or disrespect your hustle. Like I said, hate the game, don't hate the player. Whatever level you on. But you also have to understand that while you're protecting what was once your way of life, even though you've grown out of it, you what you're protecting is something you don't even understand what you're protecting. You're protecting your actions, but you're not looking at the big picture. This is why you should take some time and read some more and learn more about the system of white supremacy, racism, as opposed to the individual Anglo man or woman. The system is your enemy. Your brother, your sister, your mama, your daddy, your woman, your ex-woman, your baby mama, that Becky over there or that Brad over there. See, those really are not your enemies. Your enemy is this system. Okay? But anyway, let me play this for you guys and we'll come back to close. All right. This is nearly full of once again. So you got to be careful what it is that you're standing up for, what way of life you standing up for. So here we go. Let's see if it'll play. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, it's no sound? Y'all can't hear it? Oh, shoot. My fault. Oh, man. Thanks for somebody finally telling me that y'all couldn't hear it. Oh, shoot. It was supposed to be a moment of silence. Let me try to rewind it back. Hold on. I don't know what happened. Let me Oh, shoot. You know what I did? Child, I forgot to share it on the darn screen. Y'all, I am sorry. We got halfway through the video and nobody said you couldn't hear it. Making it have to say, Klaus said no, saying I thought you. No, I got it. I was playing it. I forgot to screen share. Ooh, child, I tell you, it's 11 o'clock. Cloud is in the evening. That brain don't work. What, Lord, y'all, I am so sorry for that long moment of silence. Child, I apologize. Honey, let me hurry up and do this video so we can get on up out here. It'll be sound this time, y'all. I am so sorry. Thanks for hanging on with me. Thanks for somebody saying something. I know that's right, Stazzy girl. Child, I was listening to it. I'm thinking y'all listening to it. Child, I don't even know how to go back and edit that out. That is ridiculous on my part. Y'all know I'm only human. Clausen, I thought you was setting it up. Nah. My fault. That's why I was quiet, y'all. Child, here we go. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear it, okay? If you can't, we'll try something different. Oh, but here it is, though. This is what I want to share.
Sure, because they set it up and they know what's going to happen. They know that people are going to get incensed and whatnot, and somebody, the way that they will put it is, oh, you took the law in your own hands. See what I mean? But they will make sure that the setting is such that no white people are involved. See, that's the key. You look around and say, who's involved in all this crack house and whatnot? And that, I got 16 people together from the neighborhood, and we went down there and said, we got to put this crack house out of business. And we wound up in a big shootout. I mean, you have a half a day shootout down there. I mean, so bodies all over the place. And no, now, that's just not the end of it. That would work fine out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, like in the days of what they call the frontier and the Wild West. I mean, you just have the OK Corral situation, and you just got dead bodies, and whoever came out on top won. And that would be the end of that. But the world is not run like that. All of a sudden, you haven't seen these white faces before, but you're going to see plenty of them now. You're going to see plenty of them now. They don't live nowhere around there, but all of a sudden they're going to show up with guns and whatnot and say, what's going on here? Now, I got all these dead bodies around here. I mean, they're all black dead bodies. I mean, and you say you're straightening out the neighborhood. Wait a minute. What neighborhood? You say, my neighborhood. And they say, you don't own a neighborhood. I own neighborhoods, boy. I own all the neighborhoods all over the world. You don't have any say-so about anything. You say, but I'm protecting myself. You don't have any duty to protect yourself. I protect you. Say, yeah, but you didn't protect me and whatnot. Hey, I decide when you're going to get protected, okay? You're always dealing with me, boy. Get that in your thick skull. You're always dealing with me. You're not dealing with anybody else but me. Now, catch my drift? It's like the scene in, this has been done among white people, so they know about this. The scene in Godfather 1, when Michael Corleone showed up at the hospital and ran up and down the corridors and say, where are all the people supposed to be protecting my father? Mm-hmm. Where are the people supposed to be protecting my father? They know that people have made threats against him. Nobody's here, just a nurse. And so he stood outside, and the people who came to kill him, they saw that they might be going up against some vigilantism here, so they took off. But then, what happened? McCluskey shows up. Say, I thought I had all you guinea hoods locked up. And what are you doing around this hospital? Get out of here. And then he broke his jaw. Mm-hmm. And he said, I came to protect my father. Well, you're a law enforcement officer. Why aren't you protecting my father? He said, look, don't tell me my business. See, so in the world of white supremacy, they understand that principle very well. So the white supremacists will plant a crack house in a neighborhood that they intend to cause black people to move again. See, one of the major strategies of the white supremacists on this planet is, like you learn in Shane, keep them squatters moving. Don't ever let them have a stable neighborhood anywhere. Put a crack house in that neighborhood. Allow that crack house to flourish so that everybody will panic when they have no protection and run. And then we take over the whole neighborhood and gentrify it again. And then when they go wherever they're going to the next neighborhood, after 10 years, we start the same thing all over again. Keep them squatters moving. That's the strategy. It's evil. And it's all them. It's nobody but them. You have to rid this entire planet of the system of white supremacy. But you can start simply by pointing out that's where the problem is. The problem isn't with the drug dealers and all like that. There's no problem. They can swat them like a fly. The white supremacists know that. They are the ones who give them the drugs. They are the ones who haul it in here. Black people don't know anything about manufacturing anything. All they know is somebody gives them something and say you can make some money and you can show off and you can buy some cars and run them down the street showing off to your friends, which is the black mentality. They know us better than we know ourselves. Mm-hmm. That's why they can manipulate us to do anything, mostly destructive, almost always destructive, bottom line destructive. That's all black people are supposed to be ever doing on their own is something destructive. And the white supremacists are behind it all. And call it that. That's the first step. If you want to do something about it, call it what it is. System of white supremacy.
But that doesn't
They'll say, oh, you're talking about the Ku Klux Klan. No, I'm not talking about any Ku Klux Klan. I'm talking about the entire system of government. Put the label on it that you should have. The system of white supremacy is the name of the only government on the planet. Okay. They are to blame for everything that non-white people are doing that shouldn't be done because they are the only people that control or tell or educate the non-white people of this planet. Let's tell the truth about it. Now, I'm either telling the truth or I'm saying something false. If you go to school, they tell you what's going to be in the books. Mm-hmm. Is my book in the school?
No.
No. Because it tells you about how the white supremacists operate. That's why. They're not supposed to talk about that. We're not supposed to be talking about what I'm doing right now. So a question might be raised. Why do the white supremacists allow me to talk like I'm talking? They are very intelligent. What they do is say, who's listening? So when they see that nobody's listening, nobody's using the term white supremacy, system of white supremacy, it's all the fault of the white supremacists, since nobody's saying that in one voice, in a loud voice, where it bounces off the walls everywhere, in every place, in every office, in every factory. The system of white supremacy is what's in place, the only government in the world. Nobody's saying that, but maybe Neely Fuller and a few other oddballs. So as long as nobody's paying attention, we'll just keep doing what we're doing, because they're not even identifying the source of the problem. They're saying, well, this committee this, or this gang this, or it's the Crips and the Bloods, and you know, and so if we can just get rid of them, the world will be a better place. No, they only exist on account of the system of white supremacy manufactures a system where it does exist. They know exactly what they're doing. Manufactures the drugs and the 9mm that show up with the drugs.
So all this
we didn't have the 9mm all over the neighborhood and the assault rifles and whatnot until the drugs showed up. And the drugs showed up with the guns. We started off with this program talking about guns. The drugs and the guns showed up among black people, put in black people's hands after when in the Northwestern Hemisphere? After the 1968 riots. That's when. They say that we don't, you know, if black people are going to be out here with guns and whatnot in the street and tearing up things, we're going to control the guns that we give them by controlling their minds. And we'll use the drugs to control their minds, and the drugs will automatically lead them to slaughter each other. It'll also disrupt neighborhoods. It'll disrupt the schools. It'll disrupt everything that they try to do. And we'll sit back over on the other side of the fence and laugh about the whole mess because they haven't figured out yet who's pulling the strings. If we can find out, of course, that's the first thing we do. We ask them to find out who the people are who are doing it. And if they say they can't find out, then we simply say, I have no reason to believe you. Because these are the people that live next door to you. These are the people who play golf with you. What do you mean you can't find out? The people who run the world, and you are sitting at the table with them, and you don't know anything about them, and they are allowing this to happen, a crack house on my corner, and you're telling me I can't do anything about it because I'd be violating the law if I do, that the drug dealers can stand their ground, and I can stand my ground if I can find out where my ground is. But I don't have any ground. I certainly don't have any grounds to go down there and do anything about it, because then you will lock me up faster than you'll lock them up. Now, tell the truth, sir.
Facts. So when you're in your feelings about Neely Fuller in that first video, you so folks was in their feelings about about how the cartoonist decided to put the Pookie and the Ray Ray up as an example in the first video. And he put that up, and you saw black men in dresses and black men with you too, DOD. Thanks for joining us. With makeup and all this and all that. We see that going on right today. We know that there has been an agenda for years in place to destroy the black male, to emasculate the black male. Do you see what I'm saying? He does not want you to set in a good example or be a good example for your community. Do you see what I'm saying? And so after civil rights, the civil rights movement, because after the civil rights movement, there was a Black Power movement. What did he choose to do? He integrated, his neighborhoods, invited you in if you could afford to live there, but he also introduced, drugs and guns in your neighborhood to further destroy your neighborhood, or whatever, was left of your neighborhood, of your neighborhood. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, like Dr. Fuller said, you got all these crack houses, then you got all these hard working people that's in your neighborhood saying, we want these crack houses out of here, we want these drug dealers out of here. Do you see what I'm saying? But what you're doing is you're still working for the man, because he's just gonna come in and gentrify your neighborhood, after the crack and the drugs and the gang violence. When you had enough of it, you want him to do something about it. Oh, he gonna do something about it. He gonna move you straight up out your neighborhood. Do you see what I'm saying? You got today, we have a lot of men even today still in jail, because they were street level, drug dealers. They weren't the plug. They were just on the street level. So you go past that and you want to enlighten your people, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but you don't have to disrespect your elders, because you felt that at the time when you was dealing drugs, you was rebelling against a man. You was being revolutionary. But all that you were doing, that same system of white supremacy that speaking out against, that is the same system that you are actually defending, and that's very insidious. But that is what Neely Fuller was trying to explain. And a lot of people, getting their feelings about what the man is teaching. But he's when you sit down and think about it, he's absolutely telling you the truth. You're really not rebelling against the man when you get out here and sell these drugs and do criminal activities, and getting it how you get it. But like I said, I don't feel a way about the player. I feel a way about the game. I feel a way about the game because the game is even stacked against you. You are still working for the man when you call yourself playing the game. So when you get in your feelings, you're defending the system of white supremacy racism, and you don't even realize you're doing it. And it's unfortunate. And I really wanted to, let everybody know that our problem is not with one another. And our problem absolutely is not with our elders. Our problem collectively is with the system of white supremacy racism. Do you see what I'm saying? And that is why I showed, that second video as a means to try to, give a person an understanding. Like I said, before you start, shouting down and disrespecting, your elders and calling the pro-black teachings, saying that, you don't agree with this type of pro-black rhetoric, quote unquote rhetoric, you should really, take your ego off, set it to the side. You know what I mean? Like you sit in the side of old dirty shirt or just shirt or a hat, set it to the side and listen with both ears. Listen to wisdom, because them elders that you're trying to discredit, they might actually be saying something that you could use in your phase of the movement. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that is the reason for this video. Let me read this real fast and we'll close. Klaus said, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showed him, meaning Christ, all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. And the devil said to him, all these things I will give thee, if thou shalt fall down and worship me. I know that's right, Cloud. Then Jesus said unto him, get thee hence away from it. Get thee hence away, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him alone. I know that's right, Cloud. And you're absolutely right, because Cloud, ain't you done heard that saying that goes, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled on humankind is to convince them that he did not exist. Do you see what I'm saying? We got a lot of brothers and sisters running around here talking about there is no longer a system of white supremacy racism. We are living in a post-racist, America. The man ain't holding me down. I'm rebelling against the man. I'm bucking the system when I ain't working up under him at his job. I'm doing this and all that. But what you're doing is you're working for the system. That is how complete that system is, and you don't even understand it. So when I say when you disrespect the elders, it is you are out of order. That is what I mean by that. All right. Because you should at least consider what it is that they're trying to teach you. Like I said, of course, the system is ever growing. It is ever evolving. Do you see what I'm saying? But as it pertains to the foundation of the system, the beginning of the system, it's always been the same. It's always been that way, and it always will be that way as long as people are uplifting it, working for it, protecting it. Do you see what I'm saying? Trying to keep your people blind to it. Trying to shout down anybody that's trying to wake you up, or impart some wisdom because they have been around longer than you. As long as you're doing that, you still just hustling and working for the man. That's all you're doing. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, guys, I just wanted to, present this information to you guys for your consideration, because I do not know everything. I am forever a teacher. I'm forever a student, and never will I ever be a teacher. There are not enough books that I am going to be able to read in this world, to ever consider myself a teacher. But what I am doing is I am willing to share what little bit it is that I understand about this matrix, about this system of white supremacy, racism. You have to learn to critically think. Black people got a real big problem with ego, and we put ourselves in a bubble. Do you see what I'm saying? And you won't, when you have this big epiphany in your head, no matter if it's somebody smarter than you or older than you, more learned than you, if you feel like because of this epiphany you got in your head, the right way to go, you want to, that epiphany and that ego is causing you to disrespect wisdom. And that is, working for the system. It is working within the matrix. Do you see what I'm saying? You're doing what they want you to do. The sad thing is you don't even have enough sense to realize it. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's all I want to say. I hope you guys will consider what it is that I have said tonight. Cloud said, notice even Christ acknowledges the devil. That's right, Cloud, as the ruler of the entire inhabited earth. You're absolutely right about that, Cloud. Thank you, Lady Tia. Thank you, and thank all of you guys. I'm going to get off here. It is after 11 o'clock. I am so sorry for the silence in the video. Y'all, I thought I was playing that video, and I was not playing the video, but it's late. And I hope you guys have a nice day tomorrow. Do you see what I'm saying? Please consider what it is that I have said. I meant it in not a disrespectful manner at all. I just wanted to, kind of, nudge us and ask us to please, in the midst of us, disagreeing or questioning our elders, please let's not work for the man, do what the man wants us to do, and straight up discount it. Please let's not do that. Do you see what I'm saying? And that is what I wanted you guys to consider. That's all I got for now. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to smile at somebody. And never, ever, ever forget to love your beautiful self. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Peace.